Hi and welcome back to the lab. Today here on the bench we have a Icom IC-7100 and the 7100 came in because the main frequency dial does not work. Everything else, so I've been told, is fine. So let's see what's going on with our Icom 7100. Alright, so we are already ready for testing. So as you can see, it is already connected. So let's switch it on. Okay, so you can see that it is working. So we have static, and yeah, so that is exactly what we have been told, that our main dial is not working. So what I've done before, so we have tested here the connection between main unit and our display unit, so that is not the problem. So the next what we can do, let's connect the original microphone and let's see what's going on with the microphone. Alright, so microphone is connected to the radio. I mean, because we see that we can obviously use all the controls here on the radio. Let's see, yeah, you can change the different filters, so we obviously can change our band, so we can change the mode, so everything is obviously working fine, no question, but there is no main dial control. Okay, so let's see what happens if we use our phone. Okay, so that is a very important information. So you see, we can do everything here, no problem, but our main dial is not working. Yeah, so let's see what's going on here. A short look here to our schematic is telling us that our encoder is connected to 3.3 volt power supply, which means that it is most likely an optical encoder. Also, there is no further information in our service manual, but well, it is definitely no old mechanical one, as we had them years ago. So yeah, I believe it is an optical one, and therefore let's first of all check if our supply voltage to our encoder is given. Alright, our housing is apart, and well, yes, we can see here the wiring, which is our encoder, which we have down here. And well, so what we can say, according to our service manual, we should see here at pin 1, we should see at least our 3.3 volt. So let me prepare everything that we can check that. Alright, so first let us check if we have here a solid ground, which is somewhat important to take a valid measurement. So therefore, let me check. Yeah, sounds good. So I believe that we definitely have a solid ground, and that means that we can now check our power supply. Alright, so let's see that we have everything in view. So let's turn on the radio. And yes, we have static, so it is up and running. Okay, so let me check here my pin 1, and yes, you can clearly see it, 3.29, so that is 3.3. That is more than good. That is definitely not the problem. Alright, so we know that we have our supply voltage, we know that here our connection wire is fine, we know that the radio itself is operative, so we know that we can change our frequency by using our microphone. So that all leads to the conclusion that most likely our encoder itself might have a problem, and the easiest way to find out if this assumption is right is to connect here a spare part encoder to our connector in order to see if that then would solve our problem. Well, and therefore I have here an encoder on stock, so that is an original encoder, and you see the problem is we cannot see if there is a manufacturer printed here to the encoder, so we do still know nothing about it. And even if we look here to the little PCB, there is nothing else than a number. But what we can see as well is that we have a little IC here on the little PCB, so that is an active device for sure, and therefore let's connect it to the radio and let's see what it does. Okay, so look what we have done. So we have disconnected here the original one from our PCB, and I have connected here our spare encoder to the radio. And now let me turn it round. Let's see how we can get it managed somehow here. It's a little bit tricky. Okay, maybe that way. Maybe that way. And now let us switch on the radio. Okay, so that is okay. And now let's see if it works. Haha! Here we are. Look at this. It is working without any problems, as we can see. Perfect. So that means we have to swap out our old encoder, puts a new one in, and everything is fine. As you can see, I've taken out here the PCB in order to have access here to our encoder. If you may ask yourself, how can an encoder test it if you do not have a spare part one, then go back to my earlier videos. There I show how to connect an encoder to an oscilloscope and watch the signals which you need to see with an encoder like this. So that can be tested with an oscilloscope, but that would mean that we really need to make contact, and we need to supply our encoder with 3.3 volt. Then we need to connect our oscilloscope to it and then see if it is really switching. So, but it is easily possible, so no problem. And if I wouldn't have had this one on stock, I would have done exactly the same. I've taken the main dial knob off, and now we need to go down here step by step. We have to be a little bit careful because we have here our mechanical switching for, you know, how you like it or prefer it. So therefore that is a little bit difficult to handle, but yeah, we have to go now on. Look, you have to take carefully here this part away, and now there is still a washer here, and now we should be able to push it out very carefully. Let's see. Yeah, so here we have our old encoder, and now we need to install the new one, which is exactly the same, just the other way around. So that is all what we need to do. So let me go ahead. Put it back in the same direction as you have taken it out, and you have to fasten here the nut, of course, and then you hear this is the clicking. Some of you like this clicking, so the little steps, and you can switch it over, and then it is running free. So you have this both positions, right? So therefore it is very much important that it is running free here, your adjusting wheel, so that you have the different positions you like, okay? So therefore that is of course something you need to do very, very carefully, but it is not so hard. Okay, as I already said, it is important that the nut here, the nut is fastened enough so that it can't move. Right, so now we go ahead and bring it back into position. Alright, so it is back. So once again, this is a clicking, then you have the middle position, and then it is quite tight, so you see it does not really move free, but the third position, then it is running free. So that is what you really need to have after you have installed the new encoder. And now let me put back here our PCB so that we can come to an end. Okay, so you see everything is back together. Very important is that the little ribbon cables are here very carefully back in its position, same as this connector here, and already our encoder connector is in, as you can see, and that means we are ready. Okay, so everything is back together, and that means final testing. Okay, so that is the internal speaker again, and now, yeah, it's working. Very nice, no problem whatsoever. So therefore we are definitely at the end of our video, and I have to say thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.